And they are cooking up some salmon, and they have a new experience on their menu. We're also talking with Instagram star and comedian Zachariah Porter, and a discussion with the host of The Price is Right, Drew Carey, about the longtime game show's 10,000th episode. But first, it's time for the Oscars.
Tell me, why is an accomplished foreign architect shoveling coal here in Philadelphia?
Well, I like your songs.
Where the winds hit heavy on the borderline.
Who wrote this?
He did.
Хочешь быть эксклюзивно со мной?
15 cash up front.
Deal.
Although we sisters are supposed to be invisible, God has nevertheless given us eyes and ears.
One single injection unlocks your DNA and will release another version of yourself. This is the substance.
The Academy Awards are nearly here, and there's been a lot of ups and downs since the Golden Globe. So who will come out on top for the Oscars this weekend? Joining us now to sort it all out is Jordan Fussell from the Alamo Drafthouse Seaport. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone is excited for this weekend. So why don't we start first talking Best Actor, which feels like a slam dunk.
It would definitely felt like a slam dunk. Adrien Brody has swept the award season so far. However, earlier this week, Timothée Chalamet actually picked up the SAG Award for Best Actor. And statistically, the Best Actor who wins at SAG has come out on top at winning the Oscars. So for me, I think it's definitely between Timothée Chalamet and Adrien Brody. However, that's not to discredit Ralph Fiennes, Sebastian Stan, Coleman Domingo for the performances in their respective movies. They all did a fantastic job, but it is definitely between Timothée Chalamet and Adrien Brody.
And Timothée Chalamet, the youngest to pick up that SAG Award,
youngest
right?
to pick award.
So that would be pretty wild if he won the Oscar for
Absolutely.
it.
That would match him for James Dean as the youngest person ever to win an Oscar.
And up until this point, Best Actress has also felt like a done deal. Demi Moore, of course, took home the SAG Award for Substance, her role in The Substance, but maybe not. How come?
Yeah, so I think definitely it's been between Demi Moore and Mickey Madison. They've been going back and forth all award season for The Substance and Anora. And I know statistically I just said that the winners of the SAG Awards end up winning. However, last year, this is the one caveat to that, is that last year Lily Gladstone won for Killers of the Flower Moon, but then Emma Stone took it home for Poor Things. So we can't use that as like a definitive point. However, I do think I really want Demi Moore to win. It's actually really interesting when you think about it and you look at it. You have Demi Moore, who has been in the industry for a very long time, getting her flowers finally, and really getting the recognition that she deserves. Then you have Mickey Madison, who is the up-and-comer and youthful, new to the scene, and is like really making a mark on Hollywood. If you think about it, it's low-key The Substance. It is the old versus the new and how they compete. It's art imitating life in this situation.
How interesting how those two kind of play out. And for Best Director, there is also a clear front-runner, but perhaps an underdog. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think Brady Corbett is definitely the front-runner in this situation. His direction style and art direction that he brought for The Brutalist was absolutely phenomenal. It was a beautifully shot film. But the same is going to go for Coralie Fargette for The Substance. If you watch it, it's a very French film. It's a very French-directed film. But the references to The Shining and the hallway shots that it has just immediately hooked me when I watched it. And so I think between the two, it's between one or the other.
And of course, Best Picture. I feel like that's the one everybody waits for. Who do you think is favorited to take that award home, or who has a chance this year?
So I think a lot of the people are going to say that it's going to be Anora. And because Sean Baker did an absolutely wonderful job for that, and it does do a great job of doing a whole thorough story throughout the entire thing. For me, I know we've done one or other for this entire thing. I can't decide for this. For me, it's between A Complete Unknown, Anora, The Brutalist, and The Substance. So because they're all phenomenal films. I actually binged watched all of them the past week just to make sure that I'm all caught up.
I have to do that. I couldn't binge watch
it's
them.
absolutely they're all incredible. So between those 4, I personally want it to be The Substance. So because it was just so good.
Yeah.
But I think all of them did a fantastic job, and if one of those 4 wins, I'll be happy.
I know, it's so true. You look at the nominations and you're always like, okay, I can see the top 2 for this, but this is really a category that anybody could take it home.
Yes, it's been very fluid so far this season, with who's been the best at what, which is great. I don't like it when everything's a sweep.
Yeah.
I want everyone to get their flowers in this situation, not just one person take everything home.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's nice to see everybody, just because the movies are all so good, they all get a little bit of love. And if fans want to get caught up on the live and animated Oscar shorts, Alamo Drafthouse actually has you covered. Tell us about that.
So we are, up until the Oscars premieres, we are going to be doing the live action and animation Oscar shorts on rotation every single day. So you can always catch one or the other. And I've had a lot of people come in so far, and they've done a double feature where they just watch all of them. They're about 2 hours apiece, so it doesn't take up too much of your day. And then after the Oscars airs, whoever generally winds up winning Best Picture will probably we'll show them for about 1 or 2 weeks after, so that way anybody who missed it the first time will be able to come and watch that as well.
Well, that's what happens. People watch these like, oh my gosh, the one film I haven't seen is the one that won Best Picture. So thank you so much for keeping us covered. A couple of rainy days too in the forecast, so what better way to spend your day?
Absolutely, come see a movie.
Binge watch some movies. Jordan Fussell, thank you so much from the Alamo Drafthouse Seaport. We appreciate your insight, and enjoy the Oscars, everyone.
Yep.
He is one of the funniest comedians on social media, Zachariah Porter. Coming up on the ReMix, we're having a conversation about his Instagram-style comedy and how this Massachusetts native is bringing it to his own stage show.
Talk the strip mall tease tour. This is so incredible. Yes. You sold out the Wilbur. You've added a second night in Medford. Being from Mass, is this like surreal to you?
It is surreal, but it feels correct in a good way, because I think I have reached like a bigger audience and I'm on like a national global scale now. But I feel like my humor is so centered in where I'm from, and the characters feel like the woman that you're gonna meet at Cumberland Farms at like 11 o'clock at night who's convincing you to get a burger from the refrigerated section, and you're like, no, I'm just here for a soda. And she's like, no, you gotta try the cheeseburger. So like, to me it feels right that my audience is relating to it, because it's all that. It's the women that raised me.
I mean, I love that so much. And you've seriously captured like the essence of a Massachusetts mom, like the Gigi character for me. So I have to tell you, like I have a family group chat. It's got me, my sister, and my 2 cousins in it. And all we do is send each other your videos, because my mom goes by Gigi. So she has 3 grandkids. She has the Gigi dish towels, the Gigi coffee mug. Like you have literally captured that character so well. And I feel like that's what makes you so successful, is like you are everyone's Gigi, their mom, their crazy aunt, the aunt who's not related to you, but you call her auntie because she's your mom's friend. Like, you have captured that.
Oh my God. It's so funny. I love doing the mom character so much, and the Gigi stuff has taken a life of its own. But in the last like year or so, TJ Maxx and the Marshalls and Home Goods, they're just like printing Gigi stuff, which has been so great for me because it's like additional props, but everyone's sending me these dish towels and these mugs. So I love that your Gigi has them too, which is so awesome. But yeah, I just like grew up, I think, watching a lot and observing, and I worked in restaurants, which has always been such a character study for me. So doing the characters now live on tour and on my Instagram and TikTok, it's just like a real big dream come true. And I love that it's only getting bigger and better, and it's been so much fun.
I wanted to ask you, what's it like for you touring? Because you're used to doing the characters in a video, but now you're like, they're coming to life on a stage. So is there a big difference for you? Do you like one better than the other?
I think the touring is it's so much more fun for me because when you're doing your videos online, you're trying to keep it in like an algorithmic idea of like, okay, where's my hook? How long is this video? I gotta kind of keep it concise. But on stage, which people will come to see, it's so much bigger and crazier because I'm allowed to kind of stretch it and have these kind of tangents and interact with the audience. So I love the fact that doing it live allows me to make it a little bit more wild, and I don't have to be so structured with it. So I do enjoy it doing it live. It's been fun.
Do you have a favorite character so far that you do live versus you do in the video that you really love to bring out live?
You know, it's funny. So when people come to the show, they're definitely going to see my mom character, which everybody loves. And I think there's a real great grasp on her. But I'm also doing the second character for this tour, and her name is Crystal. And she reminds me of every like girl I worked with at like Olive Garden that would be like in the back with this chaotic life who just kind of like, I don't know, she's always in a whirlwind of just chaos. And doing her is so fun because I think people don't expect the other kind of characters for me, which are a little bit more crass, a little bit more intense. So I think that always shocks people in a really funny way because once again, like doing this in front of people from Mass is so great because I don't have to educate the audience on the kind of people that we grew up with. So it's an instant click for them. So for me to be able to show them this character, it's going to be like, it's like it's like the woman who's at your kid's ice skating like practice and she's about to get kicked out because she's like causing a scene, and it's for me like that feels like home.
Yeah, like she probably has like an alcoholic beverage in her Yeti, and like
she does, and don't kick her out.
No,
you can't search that.
Yeah, it's 7 a.m. hockey practice, and she's like got wine in her Yeti. Like I know who you're. Like I get it. I so get it. Okay, something else I wanted to ask you. Other characters. So you said Crystal is a different character. What are some of the other? Because you have several. So who are some of the other like characters that people can expect to see on the tour?
So for this iteration, it's just my mom and my Crystal character, and the rest of it, it's broken up into 5 sections of my show. So there's stand-up and there's storytelling, and it's all this like perfect blend of like a variety show, and it's everything that I bring to people on the internet in a bigger and larger like spec. So, and it's fun too because to creatively get in and out of these characters, I have these like incredible videos that I've never shown before that are like very high produced to get me in and out. So I feel like the minute you're kind of sat and you think you know where the show is going, I'm leaving stage to get into the next bit. So as of right now, it's these 2. And then in the fall, I was doing Mrs. Claus. When I come back again, I'll do another one. I think Mom's always in the show because my mom character is my favorite always. But so right now you got Mom and Crystal and the rest of my shenanigans that are surprises.
So I have to ask you, is mom character, is Gigi based off of your mom after like a bottle of wine, or what is the inspiration for Gigi?
So the mom character is my mom. She will say up and down it's not until she has 2 glasses of Merlot, and then it's a spitting image of her. So she'll say it's not, but it really is. But it's definitely taken a life of its own. It's gotten wilder and crazier.
Yeah.
But I love like reading a comment and seeing like one line stick and resonate with somebody and be like, oh, this is my mom. So she's my mom, but I kind of feel like she's the internet's mom at this point too.
Absolutely. I mean, like, again, like you remind me so much, that character reminds me so much of my mom, but like, I want your character, Gigi, specifically to be my mom. I want to hang out with her. Like, and I think that's why you're so successful, because these are just like such relatable, likable people. And you always have that person like in your life. So
yeah,
you really just captured like that magic of that person who's a riot. And like they're crazy, but you love them. And we all have people like that in our life, right? Like
exactly.
They're crazy, but you love them.
It's every family party and those interactions that you didn't think you were going to get. And then you get in your car after and you're like, wait, what was just said right there? And those are the moments that make me laugh the hardest. And I think since I didn't start doing content until I was about 26 years old, I had a little bit of a life before all this to kind of pull from. And I'm still constantly pulling from those memories and the people that kind of raised me in my community in New Bedford. Like if you're from New Bedford or you know where we're from, like south of Boston, like this is a slice of home, and that's what the whole show is about. It's like the Strip Maltese tour is like my love letter to the suburbs. I moved away 3 years ago to New York to kind of pursue this at a larger scale, but I go home any chance I get because there's something so inspiring and chaotic about the people that raised you, and for me it like just fills my cup. So people to go back home and to do the show, and from the people who get it more than anybody else, I'm like so hyped, and I'm glad I have a couple days off in between because now I've reset and I'm ready to make them roar. They're going to be barking. It's going to be a fun show.
Cooking up a classic seafood dish with a twist. Still to come on the remix, we get a visit from Legal Seafoods, and they show us their new restaurant experience.
Hey, institution and innovation don't necessarily always go hand in hand, but that's what we've got today, and we've got a great guest. You know him, the president and COO of Legal Seafoods. He's a chef as well, a wearer of many hats. Matt King, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Can't wait to talk about what we've got. First things first, a gigantic spread of delicious food from Legal Seafood. You guys keep cranking it out.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got sort of a display of what our new legal experience is in front of you, which is us kind of leaning into optionality for our guest.
And that's the innovation, the legal experience. All right,
Exactly.
You said optionality, but boiled down, it's choice.
It's all choices.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about choices. So, you know, you pick a protein, you pick a seasoning sauce combination, you pick 2 sides. It ends up creating 360 different ways that you can enjoy that one protein.
It's amazing because sometimes in restaurant you've got choice guilt where you look at something on the menu and you just wish you could kind of sub something out, but you don't want to disrespect the chef. Now you're saying the power is in your hands.
Yeah, and a lot of the reason why we did this was driven by our guest, by exactly that, coming in and saying, oh, you know, I really want that, but can I get this instead? So why make you beg for it?
This is incredible. All right, from the operational side, we're going to put your chef hat on now, and you're going to walk us through the legal experience.
Absolutely. So we're gonna make some salmon. So I'm gonna ask you to make a choice, right?
Okay.
So first,
Chef, what do I have here? What are some of my choices?
You're gonna choose sort of your spice flavor first, right? So we've got a chimichurri, we've got a smoked salt and pomegranate chutney, we've got Montreal steak seasoning and some Espanol sauce, we've got Chinese 5-spice and kung pao. We've got a nori chili crust with some sticky soy. We've got lemon butter and crispy capers. We've got a corn salsa with avocado crema. We've got Cajun style or simply grilled with a little herb olive oil.
This is amazing. So I can trust that your kitchen has tested all of these flavor combinations. They're all going to work with salmon.
They're all
It's just what I'm in the mood
It's
for?
just what you feel like.
I'm going to go with the capers.
You're going to go with capers?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, so we're going to season this up with a little bit of salt and pepper. All right. And we'll let this start cooking.
Fantastic.
We'll put that in skin side down and let that start crisping up.
Okay. And so it's not just the flavor profile, but the sides as well?
Exactly. So the next thing you have to do is you have to choose what sides you want to have with it, right?
Yeah.
So we've got broccoli, we've got rice pilaf, we've got mashed potatoes, jasmine rice, French fries, coleslaw, Szechuan green beans, we've got potato wedges. You know, the choice is yours.
Yeah. This is where my son would be like, oh, wow, 2 sets of different fries. Can I get those done? I'd be like,
Fries
no,
and fries.
get something green. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so what would you want to have for sides?
Okay. I should be responsible and get some greens. So these green beans look beautiful.
Szechuan green beans,
Szechuan green beans. Now, is that going to clash with my... Well, whatever. I want it. It's mine.
It's
mine.
It's yours.
I'm
You want
putting
it,
it together.
right?
Szechuan green beans, sure.
Okay.
All right, fantastic. And this rice looks colorful as well.
Okay, a little rice pilaf.
Little rice pilaf. Yeah. This is just this is a wrecking ball here of different cuisines coming together with the Szechuan, the rice pilaf.
You're really...
And then I want, well, whatever. And now, what about cooking temperatures?
So we usually would cook a salmon medium.
Yeah.
That's what we recommend.
Yeah.
But obviously, if somebody wants it all the way through, somebody wants it rare, we'll do whatever they want.
All righty.
All right, so we're about medium now.
Okay, great. Just hearing that sizzle is
Turn that off. So
a thing of beauty.
Fire.
All righty.
All right.
So now it's plated, and I made my selection with the capers.
Yep. So now what we would do is we've got a little bit of lemon caper, a little bit of caper butter here.
Okay.
Lemon butter. Right. We'll garnish this with a little bit of fried capers on the top.
And look at that.
And then we'll give it a little bit of fresh herbs.
Sure.
A little piece of lemon.
And it's good to go.
And it's good to go.
The legal experience, that's what it is.
That's it.
Wow. All right, Matt, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in. I know you're busy. The legal experience at All Legal Seafoods, all 26 of them, available now on the menu.
Still to come on the remix, the host of The Price is Right. We talked to Drew Carey about the long-running game show hitting a major milestone.
chance to win up to $100,000 in cash.
This is going to be a big day for everybody.
Well, for the 10,000th time, a host of The Price is Right asked contestants to come on down. CBS News Boston's digital host Joe Wiles spoke with the host of the show, Drew Carey, to learn more about this milestone episode.
What does it mean to you to be hosting the 10,000th episode of this illustrious show?
Honestly, hosting The Price is Right in general is one of the biggest honors of my life. I've done a lot of cool things in my career. I've had a really good career, and Price is Right is like the cap on everything. It's such an iconic show, and it means so much to so many people in this country. And I'm really proud that I get to be part of it, and I'm going to be known as a Price is Right host. Like, there's people that don't know I ever did stand-up or ever had a sitcom. Whose Line Maybe, you know, if they're older relatives told them about it. Like, I'm Price is Right guy now. And it's been quite a journey, and I'm glad that I can I'm fine to spend the rest of my days, honestly, hosting Price is Right and being part of this this great thing that people invented and they've entrusted me with. Hi, that's my dog.
And what are some of the elements, Drew, that we can expect for this 10,000th show, which obviously is such a big milestone?
Well, you know, the word 10,000 is going to come up a lot. You know, a lot of things, $10,000, 100,000, like everything times 10. We worked all that. That's the theme of the show is 10,000. So the prizes are huge. And I mean, I don't know about you, but as a viewer, while I'm standing there with everybody, I'm a viewer while they're playing. I play along with them. And I just love watching people lose their composure when big prizes come up. Like, holy, what? I get a lot of enjoyment out of that, just like everybody else. And that was just like the whole taping. Just like, honestly, the dopamine overload. Just being there next to everybody. It was such a place of joy and happiness. And I can't wait I hope it comes through the camera and comes through the screen, because it was really, really fun.
And you are a big mental health advocate, and part of this 10,000th episode is $10,000 are being donated to the National Alliance on Mental Health. And you hit on right there just the impact that this show has on people. How much pride do you take just to be a part of that feeling that so many people that get to be there experience, and also, of course, the viewers at home?
Yeah, like, you do need a break every once in a while. Like, I have my own mental health I've struggled with my own mental health problems, you know, like all through my life, you know, depression and everything, but doing good now. But yeah, and everybody has their ups and downs. It's just like there's too many people, men especially, that are ashamed to say they have a problem and they don't want to admit anything. And, you know, at least when you get to The Price is Right, you can have a break from the day. There's no news on, you know, you put your phone down, turn off the news, and just watch people lose their minds for an hour. It's just like, not brainless, because you have to figure out, you're playing some kind of game, but it's not a trivia quiz, or it's not Jeopardy where you're just like, it's not a SAT test. You know, you can really just relax and have fun and laugh along with everybody and take a 1 hour break from a stressful day to enjoy yourself. So I'm really happy about the place that the show has in everybody's lives and everybody's day that way.
Well, Drew, thanks for being a part of the show, doing a great job hosting this show, and thank you so much for the time to talk about that 10,000th episode. I know you're a big Cleveland sports fan, so who knows, we might get a Celtics-Cavs Eastern Conference final coming up.
Let's go Cavs. This is one of the best years ever. I'm really excited.
Thanks so much, Drew.
Thank you for joining us on The ReMix. We'll be back next week for more lifestyle, community, and entertainment news.
streaming around the clock on CBS News Boston. You're watching WBZ News.
Thanks for joining us here on Best of WBZ. I'm Penny Kmid. Mayor Michelle Wu is expected to sit in front of lawmakers in Washington next week to be questioned about Boston's sanctuary city status. She'll likely talk about the city's safety record, but as WBZ's Louisa Moeller shows us, that record also may generate some tough questions.
There is a sense of fear, confusion throughout the communities.
Mayor Wu and faith leaders say there are Bostonians who don't feel safe due to President Trump's immigration policies, and congregants are avoiding their places of worship out of fear.
We believe that the power of God in us is not one that comes with hell. It's one that comes with love.
Wu heard from leaders 1 week before heading to D.C. to testify before Congress on Boston's sanctuary status. But before then, there are homegrown safety issues she must tackle.
12 Winter Street, the Starbucks, they had a male just jump over the counter. He's trying to attack the staff there.
That's scanner audio from a robbery in downtown Crossing. On Thursday, a city meeting will discuss why total crime was at a 7-year high in downtown Boston last year, while Wu and Boston police have touted lower crime across the city overall.
You could see people running out TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, and security try to collect the merchandise back, and the people fighting with them.
Longtime security guard Max Celestine says he's watched the jump in shoplifting and drug abuse, the issue trickling over from other parts of the city. Here's City Councilor Ed Flynn.
We have a lot of the drug trafficking and violence associated with the mass and cash movements.
Mayor Wu says she's aware and solutions are ongoing.
For example, there has been a specific shoplifting initiative and effort that is a close partnership between the district attorney's office and the Boston police that has been yielding some new ways of tackling that issue.
So Mayor Wu sees this as a glass half full situation. She says with success tackling violent crime, this may actually allow police to divert more resources towards tackling lower level crimes like shoplifting. In Boston, Louisa Moeller, WBZ News.
We're hearing from a man from Marlborough who got caught up in an ICE sweep. While Lucas Amaral was here illegally, he was not the target. Those agents arrested him either way, leading him to be flown to a Texas detention facility before being released on bail. But he tells WBZ's Tiffany Chan that he still believes in the American dream.
This is the long-awaited moment that a Marlborough man was reunited with his family after spending nearly a month at an ICE detention center at the Texas border.
I thought that I was never be able to hug my daughter or kiss my wife.
29-year-old Lucas Amaral describes that fear as he was pulled over by ICE agents on his way to work in January. His lawyer says Amaral was mistaken for another man, but because he overstayed his visa, officers arrested him.
What makes me confused and showing that this is really a miscarriage of justice is the fact that they ignored him. They ignored him when they knew that he wasn't the guy they were looking for.
That's when the Amaral family says the nightmare began, being shuffled from jail to jail and eventually on a plane to the Texas border. His wife is translating for him.
The guard just told him, pack up your things, you're leaving. And he didn't know where he was going until he was inside the plane.
He ended up in a ICE detention center with hundreds of others.
It is one of the worst places because there's gang members there. There's people that have done atrocious things.
His lawyer argued that Amaral has no criminal record and was able to get him out on bond and reunited with his family after a month.
It was so surreal. We ran to each other and I hugged him.
While it's a relief, his future here in the U.S. is uncertain as President Trump promised to crack down on immigration.
We have God and we also have LOI, who is a very, very, very good lawyer.
That lawyer has this advice for anyone, citizen or not.
Had Lucas known that he was being interrogated and he had the right to remain silent and he had a right to have counsel at that moment, he wasn't afforded that right. So people need to know that they have rights.
From Marlborough, I'm Tiffany Chan, WBZ News.
Now to the high-profile Karen Reed case, accusations flying between prosecutors and the defense team during a special hearing earlier this week ahead of Karen Reed's retrial. Things were very tense in what was a packed courtroom, and the fallout could be massive as Karen Reed and her legal team could file a new motion alleging government misconduct. WBZ's Christina Rex spoke.
Karen Reed is set to be tried for the second time on April 1st. But if Reed and her lawyers succeed, her entire case could be thrown out. WBZ legal analyst Catherine Loftus.
These are clearly issues that need to be resolved.
For the third time, Reed has asked Judge Beverly Cannoni to dismiss her case, now citing extraordinary governmental misconduct. The allegations stem from three categories. First, missing, inadequate, or altered video evidence provided to the defense years after John O'Keefe's death.
It's entirely fair. You should not, if there's video from the Canton Police Department, it should have all been turned over at once.
The defense noted these poor quality Canton police videos and this video from the first trial, which they believe was deliberately played in a mirror image to dupe jurors. Remember, Reed claims she did not hit John O'Keefe, but alleges that Trooper Michael Proctor broke her taillight and planted evidence at the scene to frame her. The motion says prosecutors continue to send new video now, years later.
Clearly, this is problematic. And the fact that it's been provided like bit by bit, it sort of gives rise to suspicion.
The next point in the long motion about witness Jen McCabe. Defense attorneys claim she lied about going to the home of a Canton police officer the day after the incident, and that prosecutors knew this but didn't disclose it. Finally, an allegation never before seen in court documents in this case. Defense attorneys claim prosecutors tampered with the jury. However, the details are a mystery, as this entire section of the motion is redacted. Do you know what is under the black ink?
I don't know.
So this motion will likely be argued at a hearing next week. And even if the judge does not dismiss the case, she could order another hearing on this issue, which could delay the case even further. Christina Rex, WBZ News.
You're watching the best of WBZ, streaming right here on CBS News Boston. Stay with us. We'll be right back.